So rescuing or doing a pickoff when you don't have a set of fours. Yeah, it's a rescuer-based supported pickoff, and I have another video on that where I use a set of fours, I invert, and it doesn't matter what the victim subject is connected to. When you have a set of fours, it doesn't matter. It simplifies everything. But I'm not going to use this. I'm going to assume that I don't have this. So if I had that, that would be like cheating. This style is more in the spirit of rope access. So your sprout one, this is kind of what it is. In order to actually do a pickoff, I have to be in rappel mode, and it's my partner's got to be in rappel mode too, and he's got to be wearing or equipped with the same complement of gear that I'm wearing, because if he's not, that could be problematic. This whole thing might not work. Okay, so I'm already set for rappel mode because I came up in the rad system. So let me just clean this up so you can see it. So I'm gonna de-rig all this. So I'm set up as if I was just rappelling. Gabe went up on frog mode, so he has his handle descender and his chest descender. Okay, I know that he's like a rope access guy, so I'm gonna grab his descender. And where I stop, whether I climb up to him or I go down from above, if I stop where I can reach his gear, that's fine. I don't want to be too high, I don't want to be too low either. First things first, I need to shift and transfer his lines, the function of his lines. So this is his loose slack line that's not weighted, it's his backup. I'm going to rig his descender here and then take his ASAP and put it on this line. So here we go. So this line comes here. So far so good. And you get all the slack out of it. So a little easier to do with the clutch, a little bit more difficult with something that doesn't have a pulley in it. So your camming device is a little more difficult, but that's about as far as I can get. That's about as much slack I can get out of this system. So it's locked off. I switch his ASAP over to the opposite line here. Okay, and now I can remove his ascending kit. Just want to make sure that his foot isn't still in the foot loop. So I don't want his foot to be in the loop. Now I'm going to rig him up, not so much for rappel mode, but more for like the rad ascending mode. So his ascender right there. And I don't care about his foot loop. I really don't care about his cowstell either, so I'm gonna let that just go over there for a second. Okay, a couple ways I can do this when I don't have a set of fours. The counterbalance method doesn't work if I weigh less, and I do, so I'm less weight than Gabe, and I'm not gonna be able to counterbalance him. So let's visualize conceptually what this is. I'm trying to build a mechanical advantage system somewhere in here to take the place of my set of fours that I don't have. So his handle descender on his line right here, this is basically like an anchor point. And so what I can do is I can take his roll clip and create a directional into it. And so if Gabe was ascending by himself, this would be like a 3-to-1 assist on the rad. If I try to pull right now, I'm suspended and I'm pulling on a 2-to-1 in theory with a final change of direction, but this is a 32% efficient descender here, so it's not very efficient for me at all. I probably am not going to be able to just pull on this. Even if I stand on his foot loop for leverage, I'm still not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to treat this as just a directional. So it's a 2-to-1 with a final change of direction. And then I'm going to use my gear. So this is where I use my gear. And now I'm creating basically a hauling force with my body weight. So this is my rope grab that I'm going to use to pull, and I'm going to step in to my foot loop. So two things. Now it's still 2-to-1 with a change of direction, but my haul input is my foot, and I'm gonna step using my whole body weight. And as I do that, I'm gonna try to grab his harness and lift him up. So it kind of combines the elements of the counterbalance with a 2-to-1 with a change of direction. So here we go. And when I step up, I want to be as close in line to this as possible. Otherwise, I'm kicking out. Right there. Captures on his ID. I'll do one more. And now I can take his curl off, pop his line out. And he's weighted completely on his ID. I can get rid of basically my haul input source, so I don't need my ascending kit anymore. And we don't need the directional, and we don't need his ascending portion of the rad system. So that goes away. All this is gone. All right, his gear, I can just clip onto him anywhere. So it's out of the way. Okay, so what do we have here? He's set up just like I'm set up for descent mode. Okay, the hard part's over. Now I need to do the second series of line transfers. So this is actually what starts the pickoff, the rescue, right? Okay, any kind of lanyard will work. It can be fixed or adjustable, it doesn't really matter. This one's fixed. I'm gonna go to his sternal, right there, and marry it up with the spine of my descender, right there. So that's one. He's not connected on me, so he's connected on the descender. So we're both on the same descender. So now we need to do the backup. So the backup, I can repurpose my ascending kit. So that's why we have the key set on this. So if you look at how mine's rigged up, I need an adjustable lanyard. And so I can drop that ascender off. I have the adjustable lanyard, but I need that carabiner right here. So now, if you just look at carabiner, lanyard, adjustable, I can go ahead and clip to the same point, sternal. And there's some different trains of thought on here. I could do sternal on my harness, but I'm gonna actually go sternal on the spine of the ASAP access. 2 points of contact on my system, main and backup, and now I can de-rig his connections completely. So I'll get rid of his ASAP. We'll descend on his system. And again, we're cheating, right? We're assuming that he has a functioning descender, like, and we have the same kind of gear. That's why I like the set of fours, because it doesn't matter what he's got going on here, I can just effect the rescue immediately, so. Keep going until the descender is completely slack. De-rig it. Get that out of him too. Clean this up so you can see it. Okay. Let's see what we have. So his lines, I want out of the way, so they're gone. All right. Now I'm only dealing with my backup ASAP absorber access for the two of us and my descender. And I want extra friction on this. So here, just a redirect on my harness will suffice. And I'm going to straddle him before we go. And down we go. So rescuer base, supported pickoff, rope access style, or sprat style, as opposed to rope rescue.